2 hours of programming. We've got the very best in the world in a sport that literally goes back almost to the start of time. In fact, the sport of Taekwondo began actually 27 years before the birth of Christ. That's how far back this sport goes. What are we going to be watching over the next couple of hours, David?
As you said it, Barry, we're going to be watching some of the best Taekwondo players in the world. National medalists, world medalists, Olympians, fighting right here in San Jose in the first ever pro Taekwondo event.
So sit back and enjoy it. I know you're really going to enjoy the next 120 minutes, and I think what we ought to do is just get getting. So let's get getting to the center of the ring and the ring announcer for tonight's activities, Bruce Buffer. Bruce.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the San Jose Event Center in San Jose, California. Tonight, Pro TKD, in association with Corporate Entertainment Promotions and in association with the Vierex Sportswear, Old Milwaukee Beer, and Swain Sports, presents 2,000 Years of Combat. Tonight, culminating into one night of supreme glory. Ladies and gentlemen, and those of you watching around the world, it's time to begin Taekwondo 2000. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ernie Reyes and his world-renowned Action Demo Team.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, to coin a Taekwondo phrase, I think that gets us kick-started. There's no generation gap. It may be one of the oldest sports in the world, but you can tell by these kids out here, no generation gap in your sport.
None whatsoever. And you can see Ernie Reyes, who's the founder of the Action Demo team, is 50 years old, and he looks pretty good for 50. Now, what you're going to see is a lot of these techniques that they just demonstrated are going to be put into use by the fighters tonight, ranging in weights from 120 pounds up to about 260 with heavyweight Todd Tatamy.
All right, our first fight upcoming, and just a little bit earlier, Chris Emery had a chance to chat with our first two combatants. Chris?
We're into the 150-pound weight division now, featuring this man, Brian McCutcheon. Brian, you were involved in the Pan Am Games this year?
I was a Pan Am Cup in Illinois. Yes, I was. Fortunately, I pulled a gold medal from that tournament.
Oh, congratulations. That should get you in the right frame of mind for tonight's match.
Yes, sir, it does.
Exactly what do you do to get yourself pumped up and ready?
I train about 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, and a lot of kicking. I watch videos and prepare myself for the fight like tonight.
No cheeseburgers and beer, though.
No cheeseburgers. In fact, it's hard for me to make this weight division. I have to lose about 15 pounds from my regular weight, so I actually get by on about 1,500 calories a day. It's kind of hard.
Well, I'd like to give it a try myself. I could use it. Let's find out what's happening with his competitor. We recently caught up with Mr. Dong Lee.
What I had to do is just try to do a lot more cardiovascular, a lot more explosive speed training, a little more power as far as working on the bag. I look at the whole aspect of the art as far as the mind, body, to be in an art form that is very beautiful to do, beautiful to see, and a beautiful thing to change people's lives as far as character. And I like how it has changed myself as far as the confidence and when I teach others, how it changes them to be a better person. I feel confident I will do well because I have been in the competition martial arts for a very long time, and I think my experience will hold to it. I feel like my techniques and my training has gotten me pretty far in the amateur sport status, so I think it will just carry over, and I'm looking forward to competing in the Pro Taekwondo, and I'm very excited about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is a 4-round bout, beginning with the fighter standing to my right in the blue corner. He's a second-degree black belt, standing 5 feet, 10 inches tall, and weighing in at 158 pounds. He comes to us from Hawaii. His name is Brian McCutcheon. And the fighter standing to my left in the red corner. He's a 4th-degree black belt, standing 5 feet, 9 inches tall, and weighing in at 155 pounds. From Mesquite, Texas, please welcome Dong Lee.
So Dong Lee will put his art form to work against Brian McCutcheon.
I'll tell you one thing, Brian is a little younger than Dong, but Dong's got a lot of ring experience. I remember him competing as a junior.
Very up-tempo match to start.
Fast and furious. These boys came ready. Dong. Spinning back kick by Mr. McCutcheon. Double kick, Dong. Now, Dong has to be careful. Those points are going to add up for Brian. Referee Clay Barber, world silver medalist at the last World Championships in the Philippines, controlling the action in the ring. Dong Lee with an axe kick to the head. That's going to be a 5-pointer.
McCutcheon runs a Taekwondo center in Hawaii, Hawaii.
Dong moving back to the center of the ring. Notice the difference in strategy. That's ring experience. McCutcheon had him in the corner next, and then Dong carefully moved himself back to the center of the ring and put McCutcheon in the corner. Now you can see he's got his back. He's standing on the outline. Careful, Dong going for trying to knock him off. Automatic 5-point deduction. You can see one of the differences I see here, Barry, is that Dong appears to have a strategy. He's looking looking at the distance and trying to control it. And then McCutcheon appears to just be throwing techniques. We're going to have to see what the coach is telling me between rounds.
Very effective first round, it seemed, for Dong Lee. Dong is a guy who has spent some time doing television work. Here is a look at Brian McCutcheon, 1997 Pan American Cup gold medalist. 11 years in Taekwondo. Another look.
So right here, he threw a back side kick and hit Dong solidly, so that one scored as a point. And here this is, I believe, Dong's jumping axe kick right in the head. Followed up by a roundhouse kick. Dong moving back, controlling the distance. I think that's the difference of the match right now. Looking at Coach Joe Kim talking to Dong.
Dong Lee talked about being in absolute top physical shape, and you could see after 90 frenetic seconds in the first round, hardly breathing heavy.
Once again, and we have a fairly close round. We have Brian McCutcheon leading Dong Lee 8-7. Dong's got some ground to make up. Once again, no doubt those spinning kicks Brian threw earlier gave him a little tally of points. You can see him trying to control the distance. Brian, once again, just attacking. Doesn't really seem to have a plan. Dong changing feet again.
So far, the plan that McCutcheon doesn't have is working fairly well.
Well, sometimes that's how it goes. Dong going back to the axe kick. Notice again how Dong got back in the center of the ring. The match is close enough where that is going to come into play if he keeps control of the ring like that. Back spinning kick to the head from Dong Lee, definitely a 5-pointer. That's definitely going to tally some points in the favor of Dong Lee. What we saw there, Barry, was just a little bit different. That was a front pushing kick as opposed to a snapping kick, and we call that a cut kick or a push kick because he knew Brian is going to spin. Brian has established the fact that he likes to spin, and Dong's trying to shut that part of his game off and take it away from him.
Do competitors fall into patterns, and is it the object of the opposition to find those patterns, create those patterns, even at this level?
Absolutely. There's everybody has some basic strong points that they're going to follow, and you can pretty much pick those up in the beginning of in the first round. You should be able to establish that, and a good competitor will have several of those and not try and let you find them, not try and let them out there. But once again, it's the Dong's experience versus Brian's. There you have a back spinning whip kick right to Brian McCutcheon's head. And although he's still able to stand, he did lose some points on that. Here he comes again. I'd tell you about 6 inches higher, and that would have been a good night for Brian McCutcheon.
I can feel it up here, I'll tell you that. Dong Lee now with a 13-10 lead over McCutcheon. And it was mainly that 5-point kick that made the difference in that round.
Absolutely. Here we go for round. See what round 3. We'll see what happens here. See, unlike Olympic Taekwondo, you can't sit on a lead here because one shot and it changes everything. In the Olympic venue, everything's one point.
Do you have a sense when you're in there of how close the match might be?
Absolutely. Well, they post the scores. And there, Brian McCutcheon with a standing 8 count. Dong Lee with another 5-pointer. It's going to increase his points. Referee Clay Barber checking his eyes to make sure he's in good condition. See, right now, Brian's obviously likes the back spinning kick with his right leg. He does it a lot. Dong knows that. He can avoid it. Brian, a very game young fighter from Hawaii. Again.
Big time.
Again, what you saw is Brian attacking the same way. Just what we were talking about. Does a fighter get into the same patterns? Brian threw that same thing. That's the 3rd time.
for Dong Lee.
Huge. Two whip kicks to the head. And you can see the look on McCutcheon's face coming off the mat. He knows he's behind. He's got a lot of work to do in round 4.
Dong Lee, a guy who has been around in the sport for 17 years. He began Taekwondo back in 1980, obtained a degree of 4th degree master in 1993. Here's another look.
And here we go. You can see Brian coming in. His left foot's forward. He's already established it. He attacks. Dong. Boom.
Started to say actually a little before that too, he looked like he was breathing through his mouth and maybe starting to lose a step.
Well, in that kind of motion, he telegraphed his motion. That's what he did. And someone with Dong's experience.
Check and go.
So Lee now with a commanding 24-12 lead as we begin the final round.
Those 2 headshots really gave him.
12 point. Red 22. 24. Ready.
So let's see what Brian McCutcheon's strategy is. If is to use the same technique, you can still see he's got his left foot forward. He's still spinning with his right leg for the spinning technique. There's no, unless Dong gets knocked out, he should lose this match. So McCutcheon's trying to set a trap, and he doesn't really have the time to do that. He's got to be the aggressor.
The balance of Dong Lee is really remarkable too. Never seems to be off balance.
Always in control. I've been watching Dong compete since he was a junior.
National champion 1988, 1992.
Olympic alternate both years. I tell you, it's refreshing to see someone come up through the ranks through our junior program that we have. And now he's passing on a lot of his knowledge to his students down in Texas.
Ready. Come on. Hey.
Dong's just staying, once again, in the center of the ring.
McCutcheon just ducked under that kick.
You can hear him breathing and puffing and puffing.
Set up. Ready. Fight. 15 seconds.
Notice how immediately when there's a break, Dong stands in the center of the ring. Very little room for him to move. You notice McCutcheon's been working around the ring. That's just good ring management by Dong Lee.
McCutcheon's a tired fighter at this point too. And that's it. And the outcome of this one, not very much in doubt, I don't believe.
I think it's quite clear. Rounds 2 and 3 very strong for Lee.
Seemed to wear McCutcheon down after the first round.
Well, Dong generates a lot of power. And, as you know from boxing, that takes a lot out of you, those shots to the body.
What creates, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but what creates the power? Is it the balance that creates the power?
It's the kicking technique. Modern Taekwondo has evolved so much. They've studies of biomechanics. Our kicking technique, the power that's generated is in the snap. They've done a lot of studies of physics. And you can see, if you watch in slow motion, you'll see the kicking. And the actual technique of kicking just generates a tremendous amount of power.
So even though it was a pretty good last round, actually, for McCutcheon, it was not going to be enough. And let's take you back to the center of the ring and Bruce Buffer for the decision. Bruce?
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges have reached scores, starting with Mr. Brian McCutcheon with a score of 16, and the winner, Mr. Dong Lee, with a score of 26.
We're into the 160-pound weight class now, featuring George Bell, native of Philadelphia. Hello, George.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Are you ready for this thing tonight?
Very much so. I've been very anxious for this, and I'm looking forward to going out there and getting it on.
Do you know anything about the guy you're taking on?
Yes, we have a record of 2-2 in the past, and I think I can really do well at this, and I can take this.
So we're looking at a tiebreaker tonight.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's find out if the tie is going to be taken care of with the hometown boy from San Jose. It's Kevin McCullough. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's, like I said, it's a great city. It's a great city here.
Do you have the hometown contingency with you, mom, dad, and the dog out there?
Right. Well, the dog stayed home, but everyone else is out there. They said they'd bring banners and signs and make a lot of noise for me, so I really appreciate it.
Well, we'll find out if the home crowd is with you tonight. Let's go up to the ring now, and here's Bruce.
Beginning with the fighter standing to my right from the blue corner. He's a second-degree black belt, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighing in at 160 pounds. He comes to us from San Jose, California. Please welcome Kevin McCullough. And to my left, in the red corner, he's a 5th-degree black belt, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing in at 158 pounds. Coming all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, please welcome George Bell.
Take a look at the tail of the tape. George Bell, 28 years old. Kevin McCullough, just 22, but he's got a rooting section here. He is from San Jose, as you can see, just a couple pounds difference between these two, and we're underway at a frenetic pace.
Yeah, I think Kevin really wants to win. This is his hometown. He wants to show George that these East Coast boys are not welcome out here in San Diego, not when it's come to take their glory.
David, let's talk about the scoring here in this event.
Well, what we've got is a little bit different than the Olympic scoring. One of the things that's different is in Olympic scoring, everything is 1 point. Here, if you do a spinning kick to the body, you get 3 points. If you do a spinning kick to the head, you're going to get 5. And that makes a difference, as we saw in some of the earlier matches in the preliminaries. And now, another thing is, if they fall off the mat or if they get kicked off the mat, that's a 5-point deduction immediately. Kevin controlling the match. George with an axe kick to the head. And now he's hanging. Kevin trying to make that point back up, and you notice how Kevin is standing in the middle of the ring, controlling the ring. It's very dangerous for George because he's very much a counter fighter. Counter fighters may have a problem under these conditions because if they back up too much and go off the ring, they don't just get a warning, they lose 5 points.
No secrets between these two. This is their 5th meeting. They've split the first 2. Bell has been very much endangered right out of the ring.
Absolutely, and that's, like as I said, that's a problem being a counter fighter. And this being their 5th meeting, one of the things is that Kevin knocked George out of the U.S. team trials last year and made the squad himself. So George is looking for a little payback.
Now at 22 years old, McCullough's still something of a rookie, is he not?
Actually, he's been training for quite a long time. So once again, he's come up through the junior program from what I believe.
Works as an electrician here in the San Jose area and really holding his own through that first round.
Here we have Kevin.
Let's take another look at some of the action from the first round, David.
Okay, here you have George standing on the edge of the ring. Kevin trying to start in with a spinning technique, and George timing it, clocking it right in the head. And then being in danger of going off the mat. Now he's going to have to be careful if he grabs again like that. Juan Moreno sees that. The referee, Juan Moreno, he will lose a point.
We got 20 seconds now. Let's go now. Remember, forward.
Kevin chasing George, trying to get that, trying to knock him out of the ring.
Move around. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about
George
this.
Bell, interesting guy. And we always refer to this sport.
Yes, sir.
In fact, the participants will refer to it often as an art.
You got 10. You got 9
looking
more.
at the bio of George Bell, he's a guy who graduated from Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina, with a degree in music and religion.
Interesting combination. Yes, I've known George for about 5 years. He's a real interesting guy. He's been training a long time. He's taught all over the country. He's even done seminars overseas, and soon will be relocating to the Chandler, Arizona area to open a school and teach other his children. But he better deal with the business at hand because Kevin McCullough is trying to take him out of the ring and get that 5 points. Now there's a real interesting exchange. George coming back.
Brought the crowd right to its feet here in San Jose.
Absolutely, he's the hometown boy doing real well. Now you'll see George come in a lot of times with what we call a cut kick because he's trying to take everything away from Kevin. As soon as Kevin moves, he's just going to chop him right around the hips and what we call cut him, and that'll take away his center of gravity and any ability to move. The problem is Kevin is controlling the distance a little bit better.
You saw Bell just kind of wait on McCullough, and you mentioned earlier he's a counterpuncher.
He is a counter fighter, and once again, that could be a problem because he tends to move back a little bit. He's going to be near the edge of the ring, and if Kevin has the opportunity, he's going to take him right off the edge. Referee Moreno keeping the action going. George actually still coming into his own. He's been playing in this type of Taekwondo arena for several years and still getting better every time. As a matter of fact, he won the bronze medal at the U.S. Open earlier this year in Colorado Springs. Kevin pushing the action. I expected to get a warning for referee Moreno there, and the end of the round.
This is scheduled for 5 rounds, 90-second rounds. And that in itself, Dave, a different format than we usually find in this sport.
Well, a lot of times in the Olympic venue, you'll see 3 3-minute rounds, and the guys have a lot of time to strategize. Here, it's 90 seconds. You've got no time. You got to go.
So there's no standing around.
And here we go.
Look.
Kevin coming in with a spinning back kick. Perhaps not a point, but getting George back near the edge of the ring. I tell you, Barry, Kevin McCullough came here to fight.
So far, he's doing it. Doing it to the extent that on the judges' cards, which we are privy to, he has a 12-6 lead.
Well, George is going to have to. You can hear Joe Kim, the coach, telling George to move forward, don't move back.
That's right.
To come forward and attack.
Okay, now we took a round off. Now you should be rested. Let's go.
That's interesting. He said we took a round off. Let's go back to work. McCullough right now with the edge, 12-6. Third round.
Bowing to his coach, which is a traditional signal of respect in Taekwondo. George attacking with an axe kick. George's coach, Joe Kim, he himself a former national team member in 1990 and 1989. Crowd reacting a little bit to some of the shots.
Move! One, ducking, pushing. That's one.
Took a point away from McCutcheon for pushing.
Two very experienced fighters here, both trying to control the ring. Both trying to set up. George is very reactionary. He likes to see what his opponent's going to do and then react. He has great speed and timing. Both fighters going down. Kevin McCullough swinging his leg over. Interesting to see if the judges are going to give that a point. Both men were off balance. One of the things in scoring, Barry, is you want to make sure that if you're attacking, is that you score, you keep your balance and your control of your body, because if you're just falling down, it doesn't really show much effectiveness.
It's the third round. We're scheduled for 5 minute-and-a-half rounds. End of 3.
And Dr. Jimmy Kim, former Olympic gold medalist in 1988, greeting McCutcheon. Here we have Joe Kim. Master Joe Kim with George Bell.
Let's stick to our game plan. Let's kick hard. Where's that right leg? You threw 2 right on the kidney. You gotta fight harder. Now there's 2 rounds to go.
Coach Kim.
2 rounds to go.
You
don't want to stand like that. Let's go. You want to run like that? You gotta get a pair of running shoes and put them
Kevin McCullough heeding the words of his coach, Dr. Jimmy Kim.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're good at that, right?
Yes, sir.
Good one.
And it's yes, sir, too, which is something you not hear in the sport that I usually do. McCullough with a 17-11 lead at the end of 3 rounds, so maintaining the same edge he had after 2.
Come on now, let's go. This brings out the man.
Well, George is going to have to pick it up in round 4 here, and being a counter fighter, now it's put him in an area where he doesn't spend too much time, and that's attacking. Referee Moreno telling the guys to mix it up. Let's keep the fighting going. Now Kevin's has the advantage here of not really having to push the issue. And he's made George come to the point where he's got to attack him, but we can see Kevin's not doing that. He's here to fight.
Well, I'm sure he's a little bit juiced just by view of the fact he's got his family and all his friends here, and they react every time he does something, as they did right there.
I'll tell you, he reacted when he walked on. They reacted when he walked onto the mat.
And he talked about that a little bit earlier. We were chatting with him.
Kevin going for the jumping axe kick. There we go. Actually, very smart play by George Bell there. Fell right to the mat, making sure that Kevin couldn't take him off.
Bell looks to me like he could be a little bit gassed, too. He's been breathing pretty heavy.
Well, McCullough's pushing him, and that's the thing. I mean, George is used to being a counter fighter and picking his points, and Kevin's a very aggressive fighter. I think Kevin's been training really hard.
Watch out.
I think George may be a little bit nervous because he's come down from altitude. He was in Colorado training. Definitely a point there. That sliding forward and a lead leg roundhouse kick to George's head. Kevin hadn't thrown that yet in the match. It caught George by surprise. Kevin kept his feet on the mat.
Very close. More importantly, kept his butt on the mat. That's what saved him 5 points.
That's right. I'll tell you, had he lost that, that was a close enough round that had Kevin fallen off, that would have made this a 1-point game.
Now listen,
Jimmy Kim on camera coaching Kevin, telling him just to maintain, maintain his pace.
Stay relaxed, man.
Take a look at some of the action from that last round here.
Here we go. Kevin McCullough trying a spinning back kick. That's that cut kick I was telling you about. He kind of took it away and George kicked him on the hips. And there's the end of the round where Kevin fell on his behind and just kept himself on the mat. Had he fallen off, that would have made this very close. George Bell only being awarded 1 point in that match. Kevin has a commanding lead going into round 5. George is really going to have to push the action.
5th and final round, and McCullough pleasing the good folks here in San Jose.
George is really going to have to pick it up, and you can see he knows it. He's coming in. He's not going to give Kevin any quarter. Going right for the head.
Forcing Bell to be the aggressor.
Which is not what he's accustomed to doing. I think Kevin's kept George off balance this whole match. Game competitor. Notice how McCullough stays right near the corners to keep George Bell in the corner so that he can push him off, knock him off the ring if possible, just to seal the victory. Kevin doesn't have to push the issue. And as I think you stated earlier, Barry, George Bell appears to be a little bit winded, but he's fought a great competitor. Kevin was last year's U.S. team member.
McCullough now feels that he's got it. In fact, I'm sure he knows that he has it.
I think that's a foregone conclusion at this point. I'll tell you something, it would have been the same thing that we've been doing this in Philadelphia and Kevin came into George's backyard.
So we head for the end, and Kevin McCullough going to give the folks here in San Jose something to cheer about. That's it.
And the traditional bowing, showing signs of respect, first to the head of court, Master Lee Cutright, from Denver, Colorado, and then to each other.
Well, it is full of tradition, isn't it? I have not been seen so many bows. I was once in a receiving line for the Queen. That was the last time I saw that many bows there.
Well, I'll tell you, bowing is a sign of respect, and it's something that we hold on to in Taekwondo, and showing respect to seniors and juniors. It's very important to, express the proper courtesies.
Well, this sport is a great discipline, I think, and I think that's one of the reasons parents, like myself, want their kids involved in it.
Yeah, you see a lot of the schools, there's been a very large, tremendous growth in Taekwondo schools across the United States. A lot of that's due to our inclusion in the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, Australia, which is the result of a lot of hard work by Dr. Eun-Young Kim of the World Taekwondo Federation and Sang Lee, the president of the U.S. Taekwondo Union.
All right, we're going to make it official. Here's Bruce Buffer. Bruce.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges have scored their decision, beginning with the red corner, Mr. George Bell, receiving 13 points. And the winner in the blue corner with 26 points, Kevin McCullough!
Kevin McCullough, to the joy of the fans here in San Jose, is a winner over George Bell. Right now, let's take it down amongst the maddening crowd. Chris Emery with a special guest. Chris?
Boy, this crowd is pumped, and I've been watching this lady. She is super pumped. What's your name?
Adiraz.
Are you from San Jose?
No.
Are you happy about Kevin just nuking this guy?
Yeah.
Is this your first event?
Yes, it is.
Are you a participant in TKD?
No.
No?
I do take classes.
Oh, so how long have you been doing it?
About 5 years.
Well, another 4 or 5 years, you'll be out there too.
Yeah.
Is this better than the Super Bowl?
Definitely.
Do we need the World Series?
No.
Who cares about the NBA Finals?
No one.
What do we know? What do we want? What do we got to have?
Pro TKD! Pro TKD! Pro TKD!
You got it, Pro TKD. Let's go back up to Bruce.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome again Ernie Reyes and his world-renowned action demo team.
Arnis and Kali originated in the Philippine Islands. The practitioners focus on stick and knife fighting. It is a very lethal system of martial arts training. Martial arts is more than just kicking and punching or using weapons. It is a way of life. Your moves to unleash the master within.
backstage once more as we visit with Chris Emery, who's visiting with a competitor in our next fight, Danny Kim. Chris?
We're getting in with the fast, hungry guys now, the 135-pound weight division. He's lean, he's mean. He's Daniel Kim. What is your body fat?
Right now, probably about 6 or 7%. But for this fight, the Pro TKD, I moved up about 10 pounds. I usually fight at 109 or 118. If I cut down to 109, my body fat's maybe like 0 to 4%. But right now, I'm my natural body weight, so I'm probably like 6 or 7%.
So what are you pigging out on to put on the extra poundage?
A lot of steaks, a lot of rice, actually anything heavy, but my favorite's always Korean food.
Recently, we caught up with Danny in Aspen, Colorado. Let's take a look.
But I start training, I like to focus on my opponent. And that way, I get myself ready, psyched up. When I step into the ring, there's no excuses. I know what's to be done. I've studied my opponent. I've studied myself. And the only thing I have to do is just perform, produce. In early competitions, my training consists of I used to go for long periods of time, maybe 6 to 8 hours, just going over form, trying to get my form perfect, the right technique. If I saw somebody who had an awesome kick or awesome technique, I would study it until I had it. Now, as I mature as a fighter and as a Taekwondo martial artist, I like to keep it short and simple, short and sweet. That way I don't get burnt out or anything. Basically, I think my opponent's myself. If I'm disciplined enough, if I prepared enough for the fight, no matter the outcome, win or lose, if I knew I prepared well, then I'm proud of myself. But of course, we always like to win.
And there is Danny Kim making his way toward the ring, and he's a guy who really defines the sport, I think. Kind of fun-loving, very personable. Off the mat, he gets on the mat. It's all business.
Danny's like that. He's a great kid, and he just trains really hard, and when he comes to fight.
And the guy he's coming to fight tonight is a guy by the name of Jeff Pinnerock. Let's take a look at what Jeff Pinnerock is all about.
I think this match is very important for me because I'm probably coming to the end of my Taekwondo career. What I know about my opponent is he's been an excellent competitor in the past, but I think that my experience and my drive to win is going to overcome all that. And I think that this is the chance to prove to everybody that I am what I say I am, and who I want to be is to be a champion, not just in the ring, but a champion in the world. There's battles in life that you'll win, and there's battles in life that you won't win. But in order for you to overcome these battles, is after you go through them, you have to learn from them and see that there's something else that's going to make everything better. And that through this year, I've learned a lot about myself. And through competition for the last 15 years, I think I realized that winning is a very important part of my life, but it's not the only thing in my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is a 6-round match, beginning with the fighter standing to my right. In the blue corner, he's a 3rd-degree black belt, standing 5 feet, 7 inches tall, and weighing in at 130 pounds. From Honolulu, Hawaii, please welcome Daniel Kim. And to my left, in the red corner, he's a 4th-degree black belt, standing 5 feet, 5 inches tall, and weighing in at 145 pounds. He's from Gainesville, Texas. Please welcome Jeff Pinnerock.
Here's the tail of the tape. Daniel Kim actually coming up to 125 pounds. He really walks around a little bit less than that. Pinnerock at 145, 20-pound weight difference. What effect will that have, Dave?
Well, it's 20 pounds crammed on a frame that's 3 inches shorter. That's one of the big differences. Jeff carries a lot of weight in his lower body, his legs. You can see he still maintains a lot of speed, but I mean, he's like thunder thighs over here. Danny likes to spin a lot.
So quickness and, again, strength here in this match.
At this point, and Danny's got longer legs too. That could play into a big advantage later.
Kim in the blue, Pinnerock in the white.
Jeff with a jump back spinning kick. Danny double kick. Back spinning kick, hooked Jeff Pinnerock on the head. Both fighters going down. Danny looking like the Tasmanian devil coming out of the corner there. Jeff standing in the center of the ring. Danny known for being more of a counter fighter. Jeff more aggressive. This is a classic matchup. Referee Juan Moreno keeping the action going. Partial block on Danny Kim of that roundhouse kick to the backside by Jeff Pinnerock. Danny attacking with an axe kick.
Moreno urging the action on. And again, we talk about the format here with 90-second rounds. It pretty much has to be that way, and there's the end of the first round.
Absolutely. One of the things I thought was really good right at the end of the round there, Danny Kim had fallen down, and Jeff Pinnerock, already in the midst of kicking, was able to stop himself. Let's see, we've got Joe Kim talking to Jeff Pinnerock.
You're out there. Let's go forward. Let's pick one thing.
Here's another look.
Danny Kim going upstairs with a double kick. Jeff countering, and then Danny walking right into that little trap. Danny set that up beautifully. Attacked him, started attacking him, then started backing up, got Jeff to attack him.
7-3 Kim. Good first round for Kim. He leads 7-3 after the first minute and a half.
Bada training right leg hard. If you get it, after you hit it here.
So you hear Joe Kim right there. Defensive kick telling Jeff Pinnerock.
One kick.
Use the defensive kick, the Padachaki, use it. But at the same time, Jeff can't be waiting for Danny. Danny's not going to attack.